Good morning. Welcome to our Saturday morning devotion as we meet on this platform to continue with our theme, the theme of God and money and honoring God with our wealth. We have learned much about God and money, and more so that everything we have, we receive from God. And we do not just receive it for us to store it, but to make it or to put it into use, to put it into work, so that it can generate more wealth for the glory of His name. God has allowed us through abilities, through skills, through acquiring knowledge, that we can create wealth in everything we engage in. It is our desire that God will continue to bless the works of our hands if we also choose to work hard, to aim excellence, to put our best foot forward, to invest more, to seek more advice, to learn more about what we do. Then He will also bless our efforts in improving what we do in our careers, our businesses, and even everything other thing we do, including our ministries. We started yesterday looking on how we should spend and how we should be good stewards of our spending. And yesterday we learned that one, God expects us to give to His cause, to give to Him what belongs to Him. And we also saw that it is God's will that we also give to the government of the day, by giving our taxes, that it may meet its needs, meet its mandate to its people, because those governments are established by God. He leads them, He establishes them, and He has given them a mandate that they should serve His people. And today we continue with stewardship of spending. And today we also learn, as we spend, after giving to God the first fruit and our tithes, our sacrifices, and also helping the poor, after giving our taxes, we also see that we should also prepare today for tomorrow. We should prepare today for tomorrow. We should think about tomorrow. In the book of Luke 12:22-31, Jesus Christ talks to His disciples, telling them that they should not worry about life. They should not worry about what to eat or what to wear or what to drink. Even goes ahead to say, consider the ravens. That is Luke 12:24. Consider the ravens. They do not sow or reap. They have no storeroom, nor barn, yet God feeds them. And how much more valuable are you than birds? Who of you, by worrying, can add a single hour to your life? Since you cannot do this very little thing, why do you worry about the rest? Consider how the wildflowers grow. They do not labor or spin. Yet I tell you, not even Solomon in all his splendor was dressed like one of these. If that is how God clothes the grass of the field, which is here today and tomorrow is thrown into the fire, how much more will He clothe you, you of little faith? Do not set your heart on what you'll eat or drink. Do not worry about it, for the pagan world runs after all such things, and your Father knows what that you need them. But seek the kingdom, and these things will be given to you as well. He talks about not worrying of what to eat or what to drink, simply because our Father cares for us and our Father provides for us. And He provides for us and meets our daily needs. But when He says that we should not worry about tomorrow, Jesus Christ is not talking about staying or being lazy on today because tomorrow God will meet. No. God has called us, one, to work. He has also enabled us to create wealth. He has given the wisdom, the abilities, the ideas, the opportunities that we can create wealth to meet our needs. And one of those needs is preparing for the future. God has allowed us that wisdom to know that yes, tomorrow will come and God will provide. And God will provide for tomorrow by what we do today. What Jesus Christ is saying, therefore, is prepare for the blessings of God. And because we have been learning that God will not come and give you money, but will give you the abilities to make that wealth. He says, as you work today, as you go to work today, do it without worrying about tomorrow. Instead, have faith in God by preparing for tomorrow with what you have today. It means, therefore, God desires that we invest what we have today for tomorrow. We saw in the story of the mina, the parable of the mina, that the one who invested added more, but the one who did not invest added nothing. He added no value, he had nothing in return. In fact, he ended up losing what he had. We've also learned that what God has given us, the money, the wealth, the abilities we have, are like seeds to be invested, to be sown today, so that tomorrow, so that in future, we may reap. The wisdom of investing, that as we spend, we should invest. We should save for tomorrow. Do we save for tomorrow? One, we know that a time will come. If you have not retired, you will retire. God expects you to have a retirement plan that you save today, because that time, God will also need to meet your needs. How will He meet your needs? Through the savings you make today. God desires that we have other plans of savings. We have insurance plans, we have insurance covers, we have health covers. All these we plan today so that tomorrow God will meet our needs through our savings. It is godly to save. It is godly to invest. It is not about worrying. You will not even, in fact, worry because you are preparing. But if you fail to prepare, then that means you will always live today with worries of tomorrow. But if you prepare for tomorrow, then you will not worry of today, you will not even worry of tomorrow. We should prepare to store up for the future. In the book of Genesis 41, a story we know so well, where in Egypt, Pharaoh had two dreams. And we see when he called unto Joseph, and when he was interpreting the two dreams from verse 28, this is what Joseph says. Genesis 41 from verse 28. He says, "It is just as I said to Pharaoh. God has shown Pharaoh what is about to do. 7 years of great abundance are coming throughout the land of Egypt, but 7 years of famine will follow them. Then all the abundance in Egypt will be forgotten, and the famine will ravage the land. The abundance in the land will not be remembered, because the famine that follows it will be so severe." The reason the dream was given to Pharaoh in two forms is that the matter has been firmly decided by God, and God will do it soon. Then he says, "And now let Pharaoh look for a discerning and wise man, and put him in charge of the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh appoint commissioners over the land to take a fifth of the harvest of Egypt during the 7 years of abundance. They should collect all the food of these years that are coming and store up the grain under the authority of Pharaoh to be kept in the cities for food. This food should be held in reserve for the country to be used during the 7 years of famine that will come upon Egypt, so that the country may not be ruined by the famine." God talks to Pharaoh that he will have 7 years of abundance. But he talks of wisdom, that through his wisdom, they should store up a fifth of their harvest for the 7 years. And what they will have stored, what they will have accumulated, will be used for the 7 years of famine. Why? Because God desires that He will also provide for them even in the 7 years of famine. God desires that He will provide for you in years of your strength and years of your weakness, when you can work and even when you have retired, when you are healthy and even when you are ill, when you are young and even when you are old, when you are raising your children and even when you are raising your grandchildren. God desires to provide for us at all times, regardless of the season, in abundance and also in famine. But we need that wisdom that we should save up for that time. We should save up for the future. We should save today, because tomorrow will come and that tomorrow will need His providence. He has given us that wisdom that we can save, we can invest. Yes, you can save in property, you can save in other ways, because we have many ways of saving. We can save in banks, we can save in SACCOs, we can save in bonds, we can save in many ways. Monetary, we are ways of saving. We can save a lot in liquid cash. We can also save in terms of property, in things we can sell in future. All these are things that God has allowed us to and enabled us to save. As we earn, as we become stewards of earning, let us also be good stewards of our spending. Let us teach and learn that God has allowed us, that it is also a way of trusting God, that if we save up today, indeed He will provide for us tomorrow. In His divine provision, that is how He provides for us when time of famine comes. Because we saved, then we will not suffer when famine comes. Because when in abundance we do not eat everything, and we said it is wisdom not to waste what we have, not to spend everything we receive, but to have the wisdom to also save, because God has called us to save, to store up what we have for the future. And when we save today, then it will enable us to provide even in future. In 1 Timothy 5:8, Paul writes that if anyone does not provide for his relatives, and especially for his immediate family, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. Paul is talking about providing for our families, that we should work hard, we should be hardworking to earn a living for our families, because it is godly to provide for our families. He says, if you do not provide for your family, then you have denied the faith. Which faith? That God is a provider, and God enables us, gives us the ability to earn so that we can provide for our families. That means not only providing for them now, but also in future. Not providing for them when we can, but even when we have no strength to go out and work, because we have that wisdom of storing up what we have today in abundance, giving a portion to our savings and investments, because that time when we will not have the strength to go out to work, to go to our careers, to run businesses, then what we saved, what we invested in, will help us to also provide for our families even at that time. As we live for today, let us remember that God has given us the wisdom to save. We have platforms, ways we can save. We know there are many financial institutions that are encouraging us to save for tomorrow. We have many business ideas that we can invest in for tomorrow. There are many ways in terms of property that we can save for tomorrow. May God help us that we should not worry about tomorrow, because we are preparing for the future today. We are preparing for tomorrow today. We will not worry about the well-being of our children in 10, 20, 30 years to come, because today we are doing something that will provide for them in future. And lastly, God expects us to live for today, to meet our daily needs. He tells us that He will meet our daily needs through our earnings, We are able to buy food. We are able to have that shelter. We are able to pay the school fees. We are able to do everything we need for today. When we live for today, that does not mean that we waste everything we have on the things of today. May we be wise enough to live within our means. We should not just live because we are earning, but let us live a life that will help us to serve God, to give to the government, to save, and also to meet our needs. We are able, we have the ability to adjust our lives to live within our means so that we can leave something to store up for the future. Let us avoid wastage where we can, because at times we go out spending on things that at times we do not need them. Let us live a life that is guided and led by God. Let us be good stewards of what we have received. Let us also be good stewards in our spending. Let us not use everything for ourselves, but let us remember it is God's desire that we serve Him with our wealth. We honor Him with our wealth. It is God's desire that we honor Him with our wealth through giving our tithes. He also enables us to honor Him with our wealth through giving to the government. He also helps us to honor Him with our wealth through saving for the future, and lastly, meeting our daily needs. May God help us that we be good stewards of our spendings. In the name of God the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.